Alright, so the L-sit to handstand is one of the most iconic moves and actually one of the most impressive moves you can have to show that you have control. Now, the whole thing I'm going to do here is that I'm going to break this down into a series. So this is part 1, and this is how to L-sit properly and get a good base to get to know the L-sit. Alright, so starting it off is obviously the main juice of it all is the L-sit. Now, this is a proper L-sit right here. Not no dang like this, not like this. Just go ahead like this. Everything straight. Now this is what matters the most is your L-sit. If you cannot do an L-sit, look at my video that I show you how to do an L-sit, and over time you can learn it. But this is the build of the first foundation, the base of it all. If you can't L-sit at all, look at that video, because right here was what's gonna make all the sauce right here. Now, going on from that one, from your L-sit, this is what you can do next. Now, what next you can do is that, yes, I know this is kind of redundant or kind of crazy how you do it, but this is what you can do. You can do L-sit to kick. L-sit to tuck clinch. What that does is that gets you ready for the lift off or the transition of getting into the handstand. Now, this is how you can actually build it really simple in the end. Now, and kind of builds up that little base for you more, because as you notice, when you get into the hands to the L-sit to the handstand, you have to be able to come from here all the way from right here, and that's why it matters the most. Do 3 sets of 10 reps and you'll be okay. Alright, so next up is, it's kind of crazy I'm saying this, but it is your straight arm to plank shrugs. All this is helping out your shoulder strength the most. You're just going from right here, and you just hold this for 1, 2, 3 seconds, come down, and you're coming up. Now this is where it gets a little tricky with this move. Not really tricky, but like, you're probably asking, why didn't you learn this move the most? Well, I know that this is really a good exercise to start off with, even if you just learn the L-sit, the handstand. This is also a great progression to do your planche too. So not only that you're learning one skill, you're getting ready for another skill that you eventually all want in the end, which I know everybody wants, is planche. Alright, so next one, you can use if you want to, but it is kind of easier to use it without this, the parallettes. So I'm just move this aside, and you're doing seated leg lifts. You just making sure that you're doing the core compression. Make sure that when you're doing this, you're sucking in your stomach and you're coming up just like that. The reason why this matters the most is because, yes, your core, like I said, and I believe in a short or a video, I don't know which one it was, but your core is actually the main thing that you're going to use for majority of your skills, which is your front lever, handstands, or back lever, or planche, whatever it is you're going to be trying to learn. You got to have a good core. This is actually one of the exercises that I did before that helped me out a lot to get to that L-sit to handstand in. The reason why this kind of helps me out a lot is because when you're doing like this, as you notice, this helps you with the L-sit. As you can tell, come from right here, That is why that matters the most, because if you're trying to be honestly kind of a little dramatic with it, like you're going really slow into the L sit to the handstand, that is a good move to learn, or a good kind of ab exercise right there, or core exercise to help you out learn your core a lot. Very last one, and if you're here so far, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If this video is helping you by any chance, by any means, let me know in the comment section below, because I am going to be sending out part 2 of this for the L-sit to handstand. Now, yes, relatively speaking, that if you know the handstand to L-sit, yes, you can do negatives of this stuff to actually get to know the L-sit to handstand quicker. But I know there are people who are struggling getting an L-sit or getting a handstand, and you want some little bit more in-depth progression about how to do it, or if it's too much for you to do a negative in the end, then yes, this type of video is why I'll make it into a 3-part series in the end. So let's get started with the last one. I'll explain more after that. Now, the last one is going to be L-sit kickouts. All this is you come from L-sit, and you're coming in and out. All that is, that's exactly what it is. You're just kicking out. Now, for some people, if you're struggling, which you really should be watching this if you can't do an L-sit. If you're struggling, try to do one leg at a time. But like I said, it's kind of defeat the whole purpose of the whole thing it is, because you sure know how to do an L-sit. If you know how to do an L-sit, this is really a good foundation strength to actually learn. Now, I am ending it right here. I'm making it kind of short. And to be honest, yes, this is a great skill to learn, because it's a transitional skill in the end. And what you don't know about transitional skills, that helps you out getting other skills too, which is you want to get your planche or your front lever or anywhere else. This helps out a lot. Learn the L-sit to handstand again. This is why I'm breaking it down to 3-part series, because that way, if you're seeing that negative doesn't help, which if for some reason, for some case it doesn't, these videos are going to help you out a lot. If you have anywhere else that you're struggling with, or you're trying to figure out how you can improve your L-sit a little more and how to actually get into it, because yes, it can be a very daunting exercise to learn, because it may not be everybody's cup of tea, and maybe you trying to figure out like how can you transition over to L-sit to handstand again. I'm trying to give you more about how I learned. But yes, relatively speaking, if you have a good handstand and a good L-sit, yes, you can just do negatives, which I can show in another video about what that is. But yes, anything negative you learn, you can get the positive out of it. I'm gonna break this kind of move down and actually get more in depth for you, so you can actually get a little more couple exercise for it and build up for you. Because when you build this up, you build a good base. So I'll catch you in the next episode, or next part, I mean. And I see you in the next one. Peace.